Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the V75 races at Mantorp. Our mission, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Go through each race, V75-1 right through to V75-7, and pull out the key stuff. Let's jump into the first one then, V75-1.
Right.
This one's a bit different straight away. It's a vault start, 2,140 meters.
Now, looking at the sources, Ideal Stone, number 9, definitely gets the most talk, the favorite.
And the reason seems solid. Win streak before, good debut.
Very good debut win, yeah. And the last race, apparently very strong. Barefoot, from the death seat that's racing outside the leader with no cover.
Against good horses, too, you mentioned.
Yeah.
Doing it barefoot from the death seat. That takes some doing.
Oh, yeah. Shows serious capacity. But, and this is the big but from the sources.
Uh-oh.
It's Ideal Stone's first time ever in a vault start. And post 9 in a vault start, that's not where you want to be ideally. You're wide. You have to get going fast in that turn. The risk of a gallop, breaking stride, it's higher.
Even on a spring track with maybe more room.
Even then, it's still a real tactical headache from out there. Big question mark.
Okay, so that risk with the favorite, it kind of opens the door, maybe. Who else are the sources pointing at?
Well, Night Journey, number 2. From post 2, inside the first vault, one source thinks it could possibly grab the lead early.
And if it does?
Given its recent form is very good, it's seen as a real winning chance if that scenario plays out. Then there's Tactic Lane, number 4, also from that first vault.
It stands out a bit.
For one source, yeah. But they also flag post 4 as not being the easiest either in this kind of start.
Any long shots catching the eye?
Demon Mark, number 6, mentioned as a kind of fun long shot, starts from the spring track lane, which can be an advantage for a clean start.
Right.
And the connections, they apparently have a knack for getting horses ready for these spring track races. Res El Hanout, number 7, another spring track horse. Noted as fast early, was good from the front recently, so one to keep in mind if you're covering the race a bit wider.
Gotcha. Okay, let's shift to V75-2. This is a Class 2 race, auto start this time, behind the gate, 2,140 meters.
Right, and here the picture looks, well, maybe a bit clearer, at least for the top pick. The sources mostly agree on Take 'Em Sober, number 1.
What's the positive buzz?
Lots of it. Shown real improvement, won very well barefoot from the lead not long ago, and last time apparently got stuck with energy left, had more to give, but no room to race.
And post 1 in an auto start.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot, right? Best chance to lead.
Exactly. The sources expect it to take the lead, and its record from the front is decent, 2 wins from 3 tries. Plus, first time in an American sulky.
The lighter bike sometimes helps.
Can do, yeah. Seen as a potential plus. One source actually flat out says it's a possible single horse.
Okay, pretty strong case. But you mentioned a differing view.
Yeah, a really interesting one. While everyone praises the horse's form, one source points to the jockey's recent form maybe not being, absolutely top.
How important is that?
Well, they make the point that driver confidence is a big deal, but they also add, a top driver can turn things around quickly. It's just a little note of caution, maybe. Something to consider.
Fair enough. Who else is mentioned? Beyond the favorite.
Sturbeck, number 7. Seen as a serious contender. Fast starter. If it gets a good spot from that outside post and stays calm, anything could happen, they say.
And number 9, King of Trotter. Bad draw, bud.
Yeah, post 9 is tough. But impressed from the lead recently, gets the American sulky back on. Good form. So despite the draw, some sources still like its chances.
What about Lucas and Attitude, number 3?
Finished well last time from a tough spot. Not a bad horse at all. Worth including if you're playing wider. And one source is actually really keen on this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, suggesting it could even be a single at low percentage, based on how strongly it's been finishing its races.
Interesting angle.
And then there's Light the Lamp, number 5. Highlighted as being totally overlooked in the betting. Sources say it's much better than the recent results look.
Scratches and bad runs, hiding its ability.
Seems to be the thinking. It's shown it can perform from tough draws before. So a real dark horse pick for some.
Anyone else briefly mentioned?
Yeah, Genius Khan, number 2, won on V86 last time. Twigs Khaleesi, number 4, might lead early, but probably Let's Go Mare in open class doesn't win much. And Checkpoint Charlie, number 12. Capacity, speed, but terrible draw and hangs on one rein. Lots of issues there.
On to V75-3. Sources calling this one Gold Division level.
Yeah, seems like it. Features some pretty high-class horses.
And the main contenders here seem quite clearly marked out.
Very clearly. Stara Mac Crow, number 2. Seen as maybe The best horse in this specific gold lineup. Expected to take the lead from post 2.
And if it gets the lead?
The analysis is pretty blunt. If it gets the lead in any kind of breather, even a small one, it just wins. That's the view. Seen as dominant if things go its way.
Wow, okay. And the other main one?
Dolce Vicky, number 3. Had 2 good races since coming to Sweden. Good chance, especially with the bike on likely a specific sulky setup again. Known for being tough.
Tough out.
Can race up front, press the pace, do the hard work outside the leader, and still keep going. Tolerates a strong pace.
Gotcha. Now, there was a long shot mentioned here, too. Jerka Sting.
Yeah, number 10. Discussed as a fun long shot, this horse apparently loves speed.
Loves a fast pace.
Exactly. Has good stats over longer distances, suggesting stamina. So if the races run really fast early on, maybe because Dolce Vicky is pressing, it sets things up perfectly for a strong closer, like Jerka Sting.
Coming from behind with a late run.
Precisely. Seen as well-suited if that high pace happens.
All right, race 4. Diamond Stoets. That's for mares only, right? A qualification race.
Correct. Often brings together mares on the rise or those suited to specific conditions.
And the analysis here points to a few key ones, but maybe some disagreement.
A bit, yeah. Pro Cause, number 5. Described as having sky-high capacity when she's on her game. Seen as very interesting if she gets away well from post 5.
Especially barefoot?
Yeah, barefoot around is mentioned as a potential plus for her. Could unlock that capacity.
Now, this is interesting. Margareta Tuma, number 12. Heavily bet, lots of wins. But
at least one source flat out says they don't believe in her chances here, despite the win streak.
wow, that's quite a statement against a horse with that kind of form and betting support.
It really is. Suggests that analysts see something, maybe the class jump, the track, maybe thinks that the wins weren't as impressive as they look, that makes her vulnerable today. A real contrast to the public view.
Definitely noteworthy. What about horses from the back, 13 and 14?
Isperia Font, 13, and Catherinelle, 14. Both getting bet despite the bad draws. Catherinelle is highlighted specifically.
Why her?
She was a recent high odds winner, and it was the first time she raced barefoot. Big improvement shown.
So maybe the barefoot angle is key there.
Could be.
Let's move to V75-5. What are the sources highlighting here?
Dapper number 10. Starting from the second row, but getting mentioned as a potential single-horse candidate.
On a basis.
Strong finish in recent races, apparently really flying the last 700 meters. And good talk from the stable suggests they're happy with the horse. Enough for one source to see it as a clear single.
Okay, but not universal agreement.
No. Luxacci number 5 is described as a real shooter. Real speed, tries hard. One source thinks this horse should actually be the favorite.
So they see maybe more raw talent or a better setup for Luxacci.
Seems like it. Thinks the market might be underestimating number 5. Then there's Enjoy the Moment, number 1.
What's the angle there?
Interesting equipment change. Putting the American sulky on. We've seen that mentioned before as a potential positive trigger.
Right, the lighter bike. Always worth noting. What about Mysterious Lucifer, number 3? Seems like a split decision here.
A real split, yeah. One source likes it as a potential long shot. Good inside draw, distance suits.
Yeah.
Another source is quite dismissive. Worried about the driver's confidence, thinks they tend to get boxed in. So completely different takes on the same horse and draw.
Fascinating how analysts can see the same situation so differently. Any deep long shots?
Sakima TH, number 7.
Maybe.
Mentioned as a real outsider, a camp bull might just bounce the right way, recalling a very strong race sometime in the past that shows what it can do.
And Limoncello Bocco, number 6.
Just briefly mentioned as maybe needing to be on the ticket if you're spreading wide.
Okay, right. V756. This is Ina Scott's era, just for 4-year-old mares.
Correct. And this race seems to have a very, very clear standout, according to the sources.
What's up?
SG Empress, number 2. Just strongly favored across the board, seen as very likely to get the lead from post 2.
And if she leads, same story as Toro Macro, lead and win.
Pretty much the expected scenario, yeah. She was fancied in the Drottning Pokelin, tried barefoot, it didn't work out, she galloped. But the key thing is, she bounced right back next start. Dominant win against similar horses, that quick return to form, plus the great draw today, makes her look like a very strong single candidate in this analysis.
Okay, dominant favorite. Is there a main challenger identified?
Yes, Lajuka, number 9. Seen as the primary opponent. One source even floats the idea that Lajuka might be, overall, a slightly better horse.
Really? Better than SG Empress?
Potentially, according to that one view. But the draw is terrible for Lajuka. Post 9 versus post 2 for SG Empress.
So the tactics heavily favor the favorite.
Massively. Makes it very hard for Lajuka to challenge, effectively, most likely.
Any other mares worth a mention? Long shots, maybe?
Great Pride, number 1. Mentioned as a potential long shot, same stable as another fancied runner. From post 1, should get a nice trip-saving ground. And there's some stable talk that she's been specifically prepared for this.
Prepared. Always makes you wonder.
Doesn't it? Then there's Panther d'Invernay, number 12. Had a really impressive run recently, showed great strength. But post 12 just kills her chances, really. Seen as strong, but maybe a bit one-paced, and getting into it from way out back is tough.
Understood. Anyone else?
Ebba Cooch, number 10. Does well, but maybe facing a tougher level here against these top mares. Volcanic Blue Chip 6 and Screen Time Limit 5 also pop up in some system outlines, so considered good enough to include if playing wider.
Okay, final leg. V75-7. What's the vibe on this one from the sources?
The vibe is tricky. There's actually a rare agreement right off the bat that this race is genuinely hard to figure out. Very uncertain feeling was the phrase used.
Okay, so buckle up for the finale. Who's the favorite?
Not for Sale, number 4. Noted as the favorite. Defended the lead well to win last time. Has a shot to get the front again from post 4.
But. There's always a but, it seems.
Yeah. The but here is that the sources all agree this race is much tougher than the one it just won. Deeper field, more horses capable of finishing fast.
So cannot for Sale hold them off again? That's the question.
Exactly. Which brings us to Keep Gamble, number 6. This horse gets quite a bit of positive attention, seen as maybe being overlooked because of a recent gallop in the form line.
Better than the form suggests.
Sources say much better. High capacity. And tactically.
Yeah.
Seen as capable of doing the work outside the leader, that death seat spot again, and still challenging. One source was apparently very close to making this horse a single, recalling races against top-class opponents in the past.
High praise. What about Let Me In, number 8?
Another one getting strong mentions. Showing immense performance boosts lately. Really fights hard to the line.
Bad draw, though, post 8.
Yeah, draw isn't great, but current form might be the best in the whole field, according to some. Makes it dangerous if it gets, a reasonably clean trip without being parked too wide.
So form versus draw, the eternal question.
Pretty much. Also mentioned, Lindy's Musclemania, number 5. Could be fast early, maybe challenge for the lead. Interesting if barefoot. Kaiser Mira's, number 9, solid V75 horse. Second in a silver race last time. Belongs in this class.
Any others catching the eye?
Kyrie Alason, number 11. From the back row. Remembered as doing really well over winter, early spring. Maybe worth tossing in at low percentage, even if peak form now is a question mark.
Based on past ability.
Right. And Grand Red Ready Cash, number 3. Recent high odds winner, first time barefoot, better draw now. Could that equipment change? Keep working. And Joe Dalton, number 2, possible early leader who might hand it over.
Okay, so V75-7. Sources confirm it's tough. Not for Sale the favorite, but facing a harder task.
Definitely. And Keep Gamble and Let Me In are really highlighted as major threats due to capacity or current form, potentially overcoming draws or recent issues.